Hi, my name is Tyrese Simon, and I had the pleasure of interviewing this man. He is undefeated in Bellator. He is a rising contender in the Bellator bantamweight division. Mr. Killer Keith Lee. Lee,
Yes,
how
sir.
are you, man?
It's a blessing to be here. I'm amazing. How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. Man, it's like a lot has changed in just a couple of months, man. We last spoke earlier this year, and you could add more titles to your name. You're now a father. You're a husband.
Thanks.
You're even a social media influencer now. Like, what's going on, man?
Progressive. I'm just open. God's, God is really opening doors for me. I'm just walking through them.
Well, man, I'm so happy for you. We talked about earlier this year about you, becoming a father, and now you are a father, and you were nervous before. How you feeling now?
I'm blessed. You can hear it kind of in the background. It's a
Yeah,
with this last minute opponent and this last minute fight. I haven't really had the time to sit back and really like enjoy the small moments like I want to. So
right.
as soon as the fight is done, I'm gonna relish in every little small, every cry, every whine. I'm a relish in it. But at right as of now, I got a job to be done, and my wife is taking full control of it.
Let me ask you this: what is your favorite thing about being a dad?
Just the moments that you have, just being able to roll over and look at something that you produced, something that is only like she survives because of me and my wife. She's here
Mm.
because of my wife, and because of God allowed us to be in the position that we in. It's humbling to realize that you here for a higher purpose than just your own benefit. Like it's humbling just to know that my involvement in life affects her involvement directly.
Mm. And is there something that you're still trying to adjust to? Something you're still trying to figure out as being a new dad?
Absolutely, every day. Every day is a new day with her. Every day she does something different. Every day she'll like gain a new like she'll gain a new look, a
Mm.
new being able to move and move her head and stand up, and everything. Every day is different. Like every day is a new. It's like having a new baby. Like we came out the hospital with a baby, but now we have an infant. In a few months we'll have a toddler. Like everything
Right.
changes, and it's just about evolving in life. And I'm just blessed to be a part of this journey with her.
Definitely, man. Again, we talk about you being a father, you being a husband now. You would start this year making your debut in Bellator, and now you're 2-0 in Bellator, undefeated. Like I said, you're gonna fight next Thursday, November 19th. What has this year meant to you?
Uh, it's meant a lot to me. Like I said, it just shows that I'm on the right path in life, and doors are just opening. Because the year before this was one of the worst years that I've had, or no, I would say the year before last was the worst that I had.
Mm.
I was 0-2 as a professional. I was 3-3 as a professional, but I went 0-2 in a year. I couldn't get fights. Nobody wanted to fight me. I didn't know how I was paying my rent. I was borrowing money from my parents, borrowing money from Kevin. My wife was taking most of the bills, and this was literally 2 years ago. And the last year in December, I fought for $600. So
Mm.
it's humbling just to realize where I am, and I'm not taking any second of any moment for granted. I wake up every day, and I'm blessed to be in the position that I'm in, and I'm blessed to be at the top of where I imagine myself being at.
It tells you how much can change in just a matter of years or months. Now you stand on your own name. You are Keith Lee. Do you feel like people are putting more respect in your name?
Definitely. I think it's getting there. It comes natural. I've
Mm.
never been one of the ones to demand you look at me a certain way or demand people look at me in a certain light or have a certain perspective of me. I know it comes natural. I just go with the flow. What matters to me is my perception of myself and how I look at myself and being able to look in the mirror and be proud of myself. That's what is the most important to me.
I do gotta say, on a personal note, I am kind of little like, I know that Kevin is your brother, but I do kind of get annoyed a little bit when I hear, oh, Kevin, he's younger brother Kevin. Like, I feel like you are at this point in time, you are Keith, and you stand out, and that now your legacy lives on.
Mhm. But if you ask me, I've always been Keith. So my
Right.
opinion matter. My opinion don't matter in the public eye because I've always been me. I've always been my own person. I've never really seen too many striking similarities between me and Kevin, other than the fact that we got the same parents
Right.
and same sport. And other than that, I feel like we are very two distinctive people. He's definitely a big part of my story, but he's not the main character in my story. I'm the main character.
Right. As long as you don't get the tattoo on the back of your head, then.
My head is not being touched.
um, your last fight was against Vinicius Zani at catchweight, right?
Mm-hmm.
In that fight, I thought you had a great showing. Your striking was amazing. I really loved your ability to uh, stay on the outside and in your head movements and not really get hit with a lot of strikes.
I appreciate it.
Do you feel like you're coming to your own with each fight?
Yeah, I get better with each camp. I get better every time I go to the gym. That's why I'm there. I try and soak up as much as I possibly can. I don't have a wall set up to where I can't learn. I'm humble enough and I have enough humility to know that I'm nowhere near my final step in this game and my final. I haven't opened up every door. So until every door is bashed down, I'm gonna continue to work and continue to learn. And I feel like I've done a good job of listening to God's path for me. And his path for me is to really listen and learn and become the best version of myself. And I think I'm slowly getting away with each fight.
I agree, man. One of the things this is my co-host Elijah. One of the things he shouts out is that he loves your head kick.
Oh,
The way you throw your head kicks is great.
I appreciate that.
Um,
It times in the last fight. I've landed it a lot in training this for this camp.
mm-hmm.
So who knows what's gonna happen? God willingly, I'll be able to use one of the tools that I've been training with. But who knows what's gonna happen? I'm just go out there and perform. Really.
Who do you credit with how your striking is evolving in front of our eyes right now?
Directly Dewey Cooper for sure. Dewey Cooper is a huge staple, and the way I strike and the way I move, and just the fundamentals that he buries down the hatchet. Everything has to be completely perfect with him, or it's not gonna fly. No matter how tired you are, no matter how fatigued you are, no matter how much you've been eating during the week, like everything has to be like to a pinpoint. He's a mad scientist when it comes to this game. And I think it's just my natural evolution and really just my belief in God is allowing me to become the person that I'm destined to be.
I agree, man. Again, the last performance I thought on Bellator 245 on September 11th, I thought that was not only one of your best performances. I thought you stole the show that whole entire night. I thought there wasn't anybody on that card that had as much to show a display of skill than you did that night. And this is not me. I'm interviewing you. Just pure facts.
That's humble. I appreciate that, bro. I'm humble even by the fact that you feel that way. It's amazing that to have people that have that viewpoint. But I honestly think, especially with this fight, the amount of skill that's gonna come into this fight, the amount of heart that's gonna come into this fight, I think this might be the one.
And so on November 19th, next Thursday on Bellator 253, you'll be facing 14-1 Rafion Stotts at bantamweight division this time on the CBS network. First and foremost, credit to Line Movement and All Access MMA's James Lynch for being the first one to announce the fight and break the news. You also did an interview with him as well.
Right. He was the very first person I've ever done an interview with at that level that really had that kind of clout. Like he did my interview before I fought Tony Laramie. And that was my professional debut when nobody even knew who I was or nobody even paid attention to who I was. So yeah, I definitely got to give him a lot of credit. He's like you. He believes in me before everybody else does.
Yeah, and definitely check out his interview on MMA All Access YouTube channel. I thought that interview was really, really good between you guys.
I appreciate it.
How did this fight come together? Was it literally just this week, or was it always in the plans?
So they called me 2 weeks ago, like 2.5 weeks ago. They called me and they said Josh Hill was supposed to fight Rafion Stotts for a title eliminator fight. So the winner between Josh Hill and Rafion Stotts was to fight the winner between Sergio Pettis and Juan Archuleta. Then Josh Hill got injured, and they called me, and they gave me the first opportunity. That I heard I was the first name on the bill that they called to see if I could step in on short notice. And it took some thought process because my daughter was 3 weeks old. So and I just started to really get that bond with her and really and sit down and relax a little bit from my last fight. Because that fight was in September. So as soon as that happened, everything just went in full speed because I came back I would say 2 weeks later, actually 6 days later, my daughter was born, and then my brother was coming up. So everything just happened so fast. So I wasn't in the mental state to take a fight, but everything was guiding me to take it. Like God was telling me, like, this is your time. Like this isn't by luck that you got this call, or it isn't by just like sheer because by a whim. Like this was meant to happen. This was supposed to happen, and everything felt like it was falling into place. So who am I to say no to God's word, and who am I to say no to the word that I feel in my heart? So the opportunity was there, and I took it.
Do you worry about COVID protocols? I know you had your fight September 11th, and Bellator has yet to have any problems I'm aware of. But are you worried about COVID and fighting and with your newborn daughter?
It's always in the back of my head. It's always a subconscious thought. I feel like at this point, it's nothing much that you can do other than be safe and be away from people as much as possible. I've always said that I've been quarantining since the day I was born. I don't really have a lot of people. I don't really hang out with nobody.
Right.
Public, I'm a guy in a corner. I don't really get around a lot of people. I'm very social if I'm put into a social scene where I have people that I would like to talk to, if I have energies that I feel comfortable talking with. But for the most part, I don't really be around a lot of people, so it never really concerned me that much. Of course, it's a thought because it's not even me I'm worried about. It would be my daughter, it would be my mom, my dad. I'm a person that really thinks about the long-term effect of things. So, of course, it's a thought, but with the way that the landscape of the world itself is going, the world not stopping, so I can't stop. I can't be the only being cautious and sitting in my house and not making any money and not provide for my daughter. I think that's more important than the threat of something that if it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. It's not much I can do about it. That's the same thing with taking a fight that has this much risk, just like my last two fights. I could have easily turned down those last two guys and this guy that I'm about to fight now because of the risk. The risk was very big. Vinicius Zani was on a 4-fight win streak or something crazy like that, where he was only 11-4, 11-3, and Sean 7-2 or 9-2 or something like that. So these are definitely very big risk fights that I've taken. But if I don't take that risk, I won't be able to see that big reward at the end, or I won't be able to see what could possibly have come out of that uncomfortableness. So, I mean, it's definitely something I thought about, but I feel like the opportunity was more important at this time. And Bellator has always been really good. I did my COVID test this week, and I have to do another one as soon as I get to the hotel. And then we quarantine until we get the results. And then after we get the results, we can go down to our workout stations. But we have to check in every morning, like with our temperature and how we feeling. And then the day of weigh-ins, we gotta do the COVID testing again. And then fight, we got a COVID test again before we leave. So I feel like they've been on top of it.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything from Bellator in terms of somebody being at risk or any cases with anybody in Bellator. So I think that's really good.
Where you can't walk out even if you want to, you can't go nowhere. And if they find you out your room that the fight is pulled, you can't fight. You can't be around any of the other fighters. And they won't. I don't even think they'll give you a ride back to the hotel. I mean, back to the airport. Airport is an hour away from the hotel.
How has preparations been for this fight against a guy in Stotts who is just as well-rounded as you are?
I think I haven't really changed the preparation that much. It definitely was one of the hardest camps that I've been in, even though it was 3 weeks long. It was definitely the hardest I've pushed myself as far as just mental and really just getting up and grinding. I did 2 days every day. I didn't take a day off. I took 1 day off, but I took 1 day off. And those 2 days were me grinding to the point where after every practice, I was huffing and puffing and looking at the sky and asking myself why I was doing this. I pushed myself to that point. I pushed myself to I've always done that, but this one was a little different. Just the fact of how abrupt it was.
Right.
And I think I had to get myself back into that mindset of getting over the relief, because the fighting that's the best part to me, is just the relief and being able to breathe out a breath of fresh air and just know like you can relax. And to make that switch so fast, it was kind of abrupt,
right?
Especially to have a guy like Stotts. But to be honest with you, like always, it's me versus myself. I didn't care who they called me with or what name they called me with. He's just a part of my story. It's just me versus myself. When I step into that cage, I'm gonna see myself across from the cage. And it's all about me beating that inner demon of me telling myself I'm tired, me telling myself I can't do this, me telling myself that it's something that's out of reach. If I beat that person and I can beat those doubts and those negative thoughts, it's nobody that can stop me. And I don't think he's the exception. I don't think anybody I fight is gonna be the exception. So if I go out there and I perform, I won in my eyes.
Again, we'll see this November 19th at Bellator 253 when you face Rafion Stotts. Rafion Stotts, the guy that it is dangerous. He's on a 6-fight win streak. What are your thoughts on Stotts as an opponent?
To be honest with you, I don't really have many thoughts on him. The wrestler, he has a good record for a reason.
Right.
He's gonna come to fight. That's all that really matters to me. That's all I really took into account is that he's gonna come to fight. He gonna try and wrestle. He probably gonna try and strike, just like everybody else. I don't think he's gonna do nothing different. I don't think he's gonna do nothing special. I think he's just gonna come and try and be himself, and it's just gonna be a battle of wheels. It's gonna be a battle of me going out there and implement what I want to do versus what he trying to do. And I think the best man is gonna win that night. And I honestly, no matter what happens in this fight, as long as I go out there and I'm myself, I don't see a bad route. I don't see anything that could go well. Of course, you can see things that can go bad, but I don't see anything that could hinder the route that I'm on in my life and my path. So I feel like it's a win-win situation. I just gotta go out there and perform.
Is there one thing you could say that you feel you have a clear advantage over Stotts?
When God puts something in my life, it ain't nothing that nobody can do to stop me. When God tells me it's time to go, it's time to go. And when I got him on my side, I don't think it's nothing that anybody can do. I think that's the biggest advantage that I got in this fight is that I truly believe that I'm in the right spot in my life and I'm in the right place in my life to go out there and be the person that I've always dreamt of being. And I don't think there's nothing that he about to do to stop me from getting what I want.
So far in Bellator, we've seen the Keith Lee that can, outstrike you, somebody that can, stay on the outside and not get hit and can hit the opponent. We've seen you use your grappling before and defense against grappling as well. What can fans expect on November 19th when you face Stotts?
Just a well-rounded, athletic performance, just a well-calculated performance. I see myself really pumping my jab, really sticking and planting my feet, moving when I think the shot's coming, moving when I see an opportunity as a wrestler for somebody to shoot on me. I see myself switching back and forth from that wrestler to that striker and really seeing the opportunities that he'll have to shoot on me and getting out of there before he shoots, or even if I get stuck on the ground, if I get stuck on the mat, just really being calm and being patient, getting back to my feet and working my game plan. My game plan is to go out there and really just perform. I can't say it enough. It's just to go out there, really, like I said, stick my jab, straight punches down the middle, and just go out there and just do what I do. It sounds very like story tale or very like cliche as a fighter, but it's just really that. Like I have that much confidence in what God has for me. And if I go out there and I perform, I don't think it's shit that he about to do with me. I just don't. I don't think, and that has nothing to do with him as a opponent. I don't think that once I'm on my game, not even once I'm on my game, once I'm myself, is nothing that nobody in this world is gonna do to stop me. Win, lose, or draw, we going out there and we perform it, and we going out there and we gonna just do what we came here to do, and that's go fucking perform.
And again, fans, you can watch this November 19th on Bellator 253 on the CBS network. Okay, this is what I wanted to really ask. You already said this will be a title eliminator fight before Stotts' opponent had got hurt. If this is still a title eliminator, as you know?
It is.
Okay, all right. So if you win, when you win, you're looking at the title next.
Right.
If for some reason, we don't know circumstances, for some reason you're not the number one contender, is James Gallagher next?
Who?
Okay, Keith, we went through it. Is James Gallagher next?
I won't even play the game with you tonight. Absolutely. Absolutely not. Not even from a skill perspective, from a marketing perspective,
Mm,
from a fighter perspective. I don't see it, but I'm not a matchmaker for that reason. I have a bias to really pick tough fighters, and I have a bias to pick guys that I know you can throw into the fire and win, lose, or draw. They're gonna come out unscathed, and they're gonna come out and they're gonna be ready to go to the next level in life, no matter what. And I just don't see him being as one of those guys. Uh, it's not even that he hasn't been tested. He
mm,
hasn't been tested, but that doesn't really do much for me. Even if he is tested and he comes out victorious, I just don't see that. He's just not that guy. Like, you can just look at somebody in the eyes, you can just tell he's not that. I applaud him and I commend him for the route that he's on, and I don't take nothing away from him, because we all in this game doing the same thing.
mm.
People probably look at me the same way I look at him, and it's all perspective. But if you asking me personally, absolutely the fuck not.
Okay. All right. whenever
Absolutely.
whenever that name gets brought up around you, I see a different Keith every single time.
It's weird because, like I said, he don't got much power over me, because I
Right.
don't I don't go to sleep thinking about James Gallagher.
I know.
But it's brought up. It's just like, he just remind me of one of those dudes in high school wrestling, like one of the dudes that got all of the brand new shoes and the brand new
Mhm.
clothes. Like, people want to be envious of, and naturally you want to be envious of a dude like that. And I've taken myself and took a step back and realized that I'm not envious of him. It is, I respect and 1,000% admire the fact that he's been able to do what he's been able to do with the amount of skill he has. Because the amount of skill he has, if anybody else was to well, not anybody else, but majority of people was to had the amount of skill, they wouldn't be in Bellator. They wouldn't have, you wouldn't know who he was. So
Mm.
I admire that he's able to put himself at a level that he's at with the amount of skill he has. It's just, when you get in this game and you get to the level of really being self-aware, you just know when somebody not that. And it's like, it's cool that other people think he is, but when you ask me if he is, I'm gonna tell you the truth. To me, he
Uh,
not. To other people, he might be, but to me, he not. He not that.
again, whenever that name gets brought up, I see a different side of you, and you ready to pop your shit.
And it's subconsciously. It's not even on purpose
Right.
to
I
me.
know. I know. Okay. So you're confirming this is championship goals. You're going straight to championship. You're not thinking about anybody else. You want that title shot next.
I don't really. I'm not even thinking about the title fight. I'm not even gonna lie to you. The title don't really do much for me. Uh,
Okay.
I'm grateful for every position I'm in life, and I'm very thankful for it to even be in a conversation. But I'm not going to sleep thinking about the title. I'm not
Mm,
going to sleep thinking about the next stage in life. I'm going to sleep thinking about what happened today and what I'm happy for today and what I'm proud that I've accomplished today. And that's all that really matters to me. What's gonna come to me is gonna come to me because of God's will. It's not gonna come to me because I sit and and imagine it, or I sit and say like, oh yeah, this is next, or I sit and game plan about it. It's gonna
mm,
come to me. I've always been one of them type of people where I'm not gonna fight for it to the point where I'm going out of. Of course, I make myself uncomfortable, but I'm not gonna force nothing upon myself. If it's for me, it's supposed to be for me. If it's for me, it's gonna come to me, and it's
mm.
gonna come to God's will. So no matter what happens with this fight, I don't give. To answer your question, I really don't give a fuck about the title. It'd be amazing to have. It'd be amazing to be in that position. But all I care about is this fight and going out there and being myself.
But yes, first things first is you have to get through Raytheon Stotts, and you face him November 19th on the CBS Sports Network. That's first and foremost. And who knows? Maybe next year, this time, early next year, we're talking about you fighting for a title.
Yeah, and then even when I get to the title fight, I'm gonna tell you the exact same thing. It don't matter standing across from that cage. It don't matter what position they say this person is in, or anything like that. As long as I'm going out there and I'm getting better, and I'm
Mm,
I'm getting to the, because I honestly, in my heart, I feel like when I get to the highest of the highest levels, I'm gonna be there for a long time. I'm gonna be a
mm,
household. I'm gonna be a name to where people won't forget. I truly feel like I'm gonna be somebody that is able to inspire people and change lives. I don't know what I'm gonna do it in. I don't know what aspect of life that I'm gonna do it in yet. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. But I have a gut feeling every day that I wake up that I'm gonna be somebody that is able to make a lasting impact on myself and then my family, and that's all that really mattered to me. I don't. the title don't really do much. That shit is fake to me. Like the stigma that people put around it. Just because you got the title don't mean you're the best in the world, and just because you don't got the title don't mean you're not the best in the world. So it's all about perspective, and it's all about just going out there and performing.
Well, man, I gotta say this. The year you've had, making your debut and all the success you had, I think you already pretty much won the year.
I agree.
You know what I mean?
When I sit back and I look at the possible negatives that other people would label as negatives,
Right.
When I sit back and I just sit and think of what could go wrong, I'm still happy. And that's all that matters. Once you get in a position in life to where the worst thing that possibly happened is 10 times better than the best thing that could have happened a couple years ago,
Right.
it's an amazing position to be in. And that's all I'm thankful for. That's the main thing that I think about. And all the other shit is made up. And I think it just gives people a reason to be self-conscious and have self-doubt. And God's allowed me to see that there's no room for self-doubt and for self-sabotage. It's all about just going out there and being yourself.
And that's the thing, you've been through the bottom, like you've been through that. So like to see you now succeeding, and like I feel like the thing about you is I feel like as a fan or fans, you're watching the growth, your growth as we see it. Like we're watching you evolve in front of our eyes. We're watching you make your first debut in Bellator. Then we're seeing you go 2-0 in Bellator. Then we're seeing you get married. Then you're seeing you have a child. Like we're seeing this right in front of our eyes, and now we're going to see you fight Rafion Stotts next week at November 19th and see how you continue to evolve.
This is natural evolution is to the point where I can tell you, and honest to the bottom of my heart, I can tell you when I was 3-3, I knew I would be in this position. I didn't know when, I didn't know how, I didn't know why I felt like that. I just knew that I was going to be in a position to where I was just going to continuously grow and open up doors that I didn't possibly think that could be open. I don't know why I felt like that. I was 3-3 professional. I was making no money. I literally was doing Postmates just to eat. Postmates. So with Postmates delivery, they pay you $4 per delivery, and you can only check out and get the $4 if you make a minimum of $10. So I literally would do just enough deliveries to get my $10 out, so I can eat and gas in my car. That literally was the motive for 2 or 3 years, and I wouldn't say that long, for like a year and a half. That literally was an everyday thing, and I didn't think it was normal. I just knew that it wasn't permanent. And while I was going through, I just knew I would be in a position to where I can wake up and my worst day be better than my best day back then. I don't know why I thought like that, but I wanted to figure out that it was God telling me, like, the door's going to open. You just got to be ready to open. You just got to learn every lesson that you have to learn in these, what people think are dark times. I just sat back and took all of the negatives and made them into positives and really learned from them. And no matter what happens in this fight, I'm going to do the exact same thing.
Well, again, I can't wait to see you fight next week in November 19th on the CBS network and see you, again, the year you've had is phenomenal. I think beating Rafion Stotts and putting your name further in that division really puts icing on the cake,
I appreciate that. A lot of, like I said, the narrative going into this fight is the same narrative as into my last 2 fights. They thought Sean Bunch was too much too soon. They thought Venetia Zani was too much too soon. It's all about just going out there and being myself. Right. I don't give nobody say. We gonna go out there and fight. The fighting is the easy part.
Right.
The shit right now is the hard part. Forcing myself to drink 2 gallons of water and eat like a fucking bird. That's the hard part. Not being able to sit and really enjoy my daughter. That's the hard part. Like forcing myself to wake up every day at 8 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning is the hard part for me. That's the fight. If I can get through that, then it's nothing that another mortal man is going to do to me.
Right. And by the way, I don't want to get lost on this. Sponsorship, Postmates. Come on. It writes itself.
Wait, say it again.
Where's Postmates at? Postmates should be sponsoring you right now.
I would agree with you.
Let's get it done.
But to be honest with you, I'm humble enough to be honest with myself that I'm not out that phase yet. If worst come, I wouldn't even say worst come worst. If my life goes to the point where I don't expect it, I might be doing Postmates again. I guess that. I'm not putting myself on a pedestal to where I'm too good for that. It would be amazing to have a sponsor by them, but shit, I might need a sponsor and to be able to turn my app on and make some money. So I put myself on the level of being realistic. You never know what the fuck gonna happen. We don't know
That's
what's gonna
true.
happen tomorrow.
That's
We
true.
wake up every day and be thankful for what we got today.
True. But I'm gonna shoot for the stars, and I am going to wish that Postmates check like this interview and say, okay, this story writes itself. Let's get this guy a sponsorship.
It would be dope if they did.
Full circle. Full circle. Before we end here, I wanted to bring up you and your wife having a YouTube channel, Keith and Ronnie.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
How did that come together? How did you guys decide that you're going to make a YouTube channel together?
We've been talking about YouTube since the day we met. Every time we get somebody, especially anybody that has any kind of social media knowledge, they immediately say that we need to be on YouTube. Like almost immediately. Like I've had all my immediate family and all my extended family tell me we need to be on YouTube.
I agree.
Channel would definitely be very up and running as soon as this fight is over. With the fact that I had my daughter and get off a fight and then going back into another fight, it's so hard to edit it and to multitask all of these things. But that'd definitely be my biggest focus as soon as I'm done with this fight. And I feel like we can really make something special with it and just show people a glimpse into the small reality that we call life, and really just showing people like a small daily just insight of what a professional fighter, and but she's going to get her real estate license. She's actually leaving to do her test this week. She's getting her,
nice.
It's just to see the inside of what a healthy relationship looks like.
I
It's
agree.
fresh air for most people. I come from a 2-parent household. I've come from seeing my parents being happy and healthy. So it's just something that was normal to me. But I know a lot of people that don't come from that. And it's just dope to be a representation of that.
I also wish her good luck on real estate license. I think that's a really big deal. So let me ask you this. You know, I like to shoot for the stars here. Would you be interested in doing possibly a web series with your family? Like doing a full-on web series every single week or monthly of just you and your family just doing regular things?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like mom. This is gonna be a full circle kind of moment, because my mom has always told me since the day that I was born that I was gonna be on TV. I didn't believe her. I didn't know why she was telling me this, but every time she would see me, she would just be like, "Keith, you're gonna be an entertainer. You're gonna be somebody on TV." And she literally would like drill this into my head, and to even have the opportunity to be in a position to do that. Like now I'm starting to get paid from TikTok. I'm starting to get paid from being like a social media influencer. And it's like I can definitely see the future being in TV. I don't know why it happened like that, but I can definitely see it. It wouldn't surprise me.
Dude, I know why. Your family and yourself are entertaining. I watched the video where your family are dressing up for Halloween.
Oh,
Your
yeah.
whole entire family's in the living room, and everybody has these outfits on. I think your dad had like a tracksuit and
Yeah.
a referee. He was supposed to be a Foot Locker employee.
We did that, played Monopoly,
Yeah.
a few games on our phone, and then we went home. We didn't even go out. We just did it to be around each other.
But I think that's so cool that you guys can get together, and I think it's also entertaining to watch. You know, all you guys are charismatic, and I think that's something the world needs. Is just having that loving family that are charismatic and care about each other. Like even yeah, even your wife and yourself doing a YouTube channel. I just you seeing you two love each other and display that. I think that is really really big.
I appreciate, and it's natural. A
Yes,
lot of people get on YouTube and they create this persona and they create this image of perfectness. We're not perfect by any means. We just love each other, and
right,
I think we have wisdom beyond our ages to realize that love is unconditional and is not circumstantial, and is really about loving a person inside and out, and realizing that you have faults and they have faults, and
right.
y'all to learn and to help each other grow through those, and not tear somebody down because of their faults, and not look at your own faults, which most relationships are.
Right. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to more content from you guys on the Keith and Ronnie channel. Again, if anybody that hasn't subscribed yet, please subscribe. I think what you guys do is beautiful, and I'm looking forward to see more content from you guys as well.
Yeah, and like I said, as soon as this fight is over, it gets rolling. We only got 3 videos, and we already up to almost like 2K subscribers. So I definitely traction can be built. it's definitely something that could be built upon, and I'm not one to let opportunities go to waste. So it's definitely something that I put my effort into.
So you're on YouTube, you're on TikTok, you're on Twitter now, you're on Facebook.
I finally made it Twitter.
Yeah, I seen that. You finally made it Twitter.
Yeah.
Is Twitch in the future? Have you thought about Twitch?
Absolutely. Yeah.
All right.
Twitch. I play games. I used to play games a lot. I used to play Mortal Kombat a lot, Fortnite. I stopped. I used to be really big into 2K. I stopped just because everything has been so hectic. But
Right.
I see Twitch in the future. I feel like that those are more revenue streams that will come when I get set in fighting. When I'm not waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning and training like twice or 3 times a day. I feel like I always will be, but not to the intensity that I'm at now. Like right now, my main focus is to be the best athletic fighter I could possibly be and the best mental fighter that I could possibly be. I feel like when I'm able to take a second of step back, Twitch is definitely in the conversation for sure.
Well, I love to see you on all platforms, on TikTok, on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Twitch, wherever you can see.
Everything of natural. I never really tried to do anything. As cocky as that sounds, but I never really tried to do TikTok. I literally just picked up TikTok in March. I think it was either March or April, and I just was like, okay, I'm gonna just start making videos. And it wasn't even like a conscious effort. It just was something that naturally came, and it just naturally snowballed into me being able to make money off of it, or me being able to get monetized. I feel like YouTube is gonna be the same way. If it's in the plans for me, I feel like it'll happen. If it's in the plans for me and God has it in store for me, I don't think it's nothing that's gonna stop it.
Right, but first and foremost, November 19th, you have to face Rafion Stotts in the bantamweight division. You know, who knows what happens after this fight? You know, we get to see it live November 19th on the CBS Sports Network. Before we go, anybody you want to shout out? Any where can people follow you and people look for you?
So all my social media is Keith_Lee125. I think my Twitter is KJ Go Crazy. I use like an old Twitter account that I just end up deleting all the stuff off of, and they won't let me change the name.
I hate that.
Most of all my other social media is Keith_Lee125. And like you mentioned, Keith and Ronnie is the YouTube. I just want to give a shout out to the Coldest Water. They sponsored me this camp. Brian Boxer sponsored me and sent me some new gloves. And I just want to give a shout out to you for always giving me the opportunity to come out here and express myself.
Well, thank you, sir. And again, people, we can watch Keith Lee fight Rafion Stotts at Bellator 253 on November 19th on the CBS Sports Network. Sorry. Keith Lee, thank you for your time.
God for even putting me in the position that I'm in, for sure. And a shout out to my wife for taking care of our kid while we go on the journey together.
Shout out to your wife. And again, best of luck for her on her getting her license as well.
I appreciate that.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Lee, for your time.
Of course.
I appreciate you. Signing off, my name is Tyree Simon. This has been a special interview with Killer Keith Lee. Thank you, man.
Always a pleasure.